All right, Shalom Yasha'Allah, peace Israel. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makar, Kadash, the honors my apostles and elders of great millstone who rule one has started the truth. And also peace and salutation to those for the elect, our labor in truth and sincerity in four corners of the earth, understand and event of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. And also peace and blessings to the men, women, and children, the believers that believe upon the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, and also his men, the prophets, which is here to push 100% truth, which is this good news, the gospel. All right. It's the brother Karab here from the GMS Boston camp. I just want to touch on a quick lesson in Ottawa Rotterdam, which means Lord's willing, this lesson is edifying. All right. And as you see, I have an article on the screen. This is from WBUR.org. All right. And the title reads, it says, all of Massachusetts is officially in a drought. All right. And, I would like to just start it off real quick. Salakia, bear with me. Let's get with a quick precept. Let's get Second Ezra's in the 15th chapter. All right. And now I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Shimon Shah, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right. And when you see that a drought is taking place, whether in Massachusetts or whether in other states within the country of Babylon, or throughout the four corners of the earth and other countries as well, this is the Lord bringing the plagues, all right, on these lands, all right. And a drought is also leads to a famine, all right. So let's get a quick definition of what a drought is. It says drought, a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall leading to a shortage of water. All right. It also says thirst. So as we look into the similar words, it says dry spell. Some says dry period, lack of rain, shortage of water, drought, right? And it says drought says a drought, thirst. Same thing, right? So what happens when there's a lack of water? All right. If you have if you have crops, all right, if you're growing crops, all right, such as like farmers need rain, all right, and they need the abundance of water to help grow their crops. What happens when there's a lack of rain or lack of water? All right, those crops eventually get they perish. All right, they die out. What happened to the animals? A lot of animals die of thirst. All right, and what happens to the people? The people once again die of thirst as well. All right, depending on how severe the drought is. If you don't have no access of water, you're definitely gonna go through some of the worst things to go through because your body depends on water. All right, they say if you don't drink water for 3 days, let me look it up real quick. Um, all right. This is what happens when you don't drink water for 3 days. It said the lack of blood flow in your skin may cause you to turn grayish blue color. After three to 5 days of not drinking water, your organs begin to shut down, especially the brain, which could have lethal consequences, including fainting, stroke, in extreme cases, even death. All right. So it shows you how vital water is, or how important it is. All right. It says it's up to 3 to 5 days, but without food, you can go, I believe it's 3 weeks, all right, up to 3 weeks with no food, all right. So water is a vital part to living, all right. So let's go back, and this is ultimately what the Lord is doing. He's bringing the plagues, all right. Once again, Second Ezra 15:5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So let's look into the word famine real quick. Famine definition: extreme scarcity of food, all right, not just only food but of water. It says a shortage, all right, shortage, scarcity, lack, dearth. And I want you to pay attention to this word dearth as well, all right. And speaking of that, let's get it real quick. It says dearth. It says a scarcity or lack of something, lack, scarcity, shortage, shortfall, want, deficiency. All right. Let's go back. It says, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. All right. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. All right. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will suffer them. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which is Babylon, right? And I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt, all right, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues, and the punishment that the Most High Yahweh shall bring upon it. So it's clearly telling you that the Lord is bringing these plagues, and He's doing these things. All right. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful constellation. All right. So now going back, because it happened. This is taking place in Massachusetts. All of Massachusetts is officially in a drought, and so much wickedness has happened in Massachusetts. Gad was living here. All right, and then you had Esau come up on the shores out in Plymouth, as they say, Plymouth Rock. All right, and guess what? Later on, destroyed, killed our brothers. All right, our brothers of the tribe of Gad. All right, and took their land. Even so much to this day, there's certain places in Massachusetts that still have the names of so-called Native Americans. All right, see, and it's still there for these cities. All right, but guess what? They have destroyed and pushed the tribe of Gad out of this land, all right, which was theirs. All right, so a lot of wickedness has taken place, which the Gadites are Israelites. All right, so-called Native Americans are Israelites. All right, so once we have read the innocent and righteous blood crying unto the Most High, that same blood of the Gadites, all right, and not just only Gad, but you also have the Southern Kingdom that has been going through hell in Massachusetts, because Massachusetts is a racist state, and you had Jake just going through it, so the blood is crying out unto the Lord, and the Lord is now avenging his people, man. All right, and He's doing damage, and once again, the drought is definitely one of many ways the Lord is destroying this place. All right. It's happening in the four corners of the earth, but we're going to primarily focus on Massachusetts, right? Because that's what the topic is on, right? It says the entire state of Massachusetts is at some level of drought. And with ongoing high temperatures, which you have this week, starting from last week, I believe it was last week, Monday or Tuesday, to this week, I believe to today, there was going to be a heat wave of temperatures in the 90 plus for a whole week straight. So, that adds on to the damage that's being done. All right. The entire state of Massachusetts is some level of drought. And with ongoing high temperatures and no meaningful rain on the horizon, the state said it is time to start getting serious about water conservation. Salakia. All right. Limiting indoor and outdoor water use would allow local water supply system and natural habitats to rebound more quickly, and will also ensure water resources are available for essential needs such as drinking water and fire protection. Energy and Environmental Affairs Secretary Bethany Card said in a statement. All right. So now they want you to cut back on the usage of water. All right. And start applying it to more of a meaningful or more sensible way, which is if you don't have to use as much water, all right, don't use it, just in case you may need it for something else more important. All right, and how it is in Babylon. Think it's just the consumption and the overdoing of things is through the roof. All right, and people waste water, people waste food. These things it just goes over these people's heads. All right, and once again, that adds on to the problem. All right. But once again, This is the Lord doing this, all right? It says, as of now, no major drinking water supplies are at risk, though some private wells, along with many streams and rivers, are running low. The state also said that fire activity is up, particularly in the eastern parts of the state where the drought is the most acute. Farmers are feeling the impact too. At a recent meeting of the State Drought Management Task Force, a representative from the Department of Agriculture said some farmers in the northeast part of the state are already experiencing crop losses. Massachusetts ranked Massachusetts ranks drought severity on a scale of 0 to 4, with 0 being normal and 4 being an emergency. The state is divided into 7 regions, and each is assigned a level based on local rainfall data, groundwater levels, stream flows, and wildfire risk. As of Thursday evening, the Northeast and Central region are in a level 3 critical drought. All right, so the Northeast and Central region and the Southeast and Connecticut River Valley region are in a level 2 significant drought, and the Western region, along with the Cape Cod and the islands, are in a level 1 mild drought. All right, and here's the map, which you have Boston will be within this region, the Southeast region. All right, and you have the Cape, but it's showing level 2. It's August 1st. Okay, I see the dates. August. All right. So now we're in July. We're at the end of July, and it's in a level 2 within this region. All right, but it gives you Massachusetts drought status, reflecting conditions since April 1st to July 1st. All right, and you can see the increase. The what is it? The northeast region. All right, it's damn near like dark orange, which is leading to red. All right, so yeah, man, the Lord is doing His thing. It says, when you think about drought, you probably think about California and the Southwest, but it's not a typical for the Northeast to experience drought in the summer. 2016 and 2020 both saw statewide drought condition, and though the dry conditions usually only last for a few months, they can have they can still have harmful effects on local ecosystem and water supply, says Julia Black, executive director of the Massachusetts River Alliance. Lower water levels can harm wildlife like fish and turtles, and when combined with higher temperatures, can cause toxic algae blooms and other uh, noxious plants to proliferate. It says we're hearing that rivers are low. We're hearing that many tributaries are dry. We are hearing in some cases that people are seeing historic lows, which mean the lowest flow or the driest river they've seen in decades, he said. Climate change is also probably making the situation worse. According to David Bout, professor of hydrology at the University of Massachusetts, he said it's hard to say that climate change is driving the particular drought we're in now. But if you look at the data from the last few decades, the Northeast has experienced more summertime droughts in the last few years than typical. All right. So once again, they always want to blame climate change, but they never want to give acknowledgement to Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is why he's going to turn up even more on their ass. All right, but let's get some precepts, all right? Because we brought out Second Ezra and 15, showing that the Lord was going to do it. But let's get some precepts going into the definition of the word dearth, right? And drought. All right. Let's get Haggai 1 and verse 10. It says, therefore the heaven over you is stayed from dew, and the earth is stayed from her fruit. And I call for a drought upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the new wine, and upon the oil, and upon that which the ground bringeth forth, and upon men, and upon cattle, and upon all the labors of the hand. So when you can go in the scriptures and see that the Lord had brought drought upon many lands. All right. In this chapter in the book of Haggai 1 and 10 and 11, all right, in the time of the Medes, all right, the Lord had mentioned that he had brought a drought, right, upon the land. All right. And let's go to Jeremiah 14. All right. And if the Lord did it before, he's going to surely do it again. All right. In 14 and 1, it says, as you see, the title says drought and a prayer for mercy. This is the word of the Lord the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashah came to Jeremiah concerning the dearth, as we read earlier. What a dearth is, a dearth means a shortage. It says, Judah mourneth and the gates of thereof languish. They are blackened to the ground. They cry. The cry of Jerusalem is gone up. And the nobles have sent their little ones to the waters, and they came to the pits and found no waters. They returned with their vessels empty. They were they were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads. All right. So that's a shameful thing. All right. When you go get some water, all right, on a journey to get some water down at the well or at the river, and you go there and there's no water. All right. That's a devastating outcome. All right. A devastating situation. All right. Because now your mind starts to worry. All right. Your mind starts to worry, and you now start to come, how can I say, restless. You start figuring out how you're going to get water. All right. What's going on. All right. And you try to find answers. Right. So this is exactly what's happening here in this article, that they're trying to put two and two together, as they saying that over the decades, these things have been increasing. All right. It's been increasing. And once again, this is all from Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right. You got to give credit to who's doing it. All right. It says verse 4, it says, it says, because the ground is chapped, but there was no rain in the earth. The plowmen were astonished. The plowmen were ashamed, which goes back to the farmers. They covered their heads. All right. Once again, they was in shame as well. All right. Because what? They can't produce their crops. The purpose of the farmer is to bring forth the agriculture. All right. Bring forth the corn. Bring forth the garlic. Bring forth the onions. Bring forth the fruits and vegetables. These things that can help nourish and sustain a nation, a country, a people, a land. All right. And not just only the people that benefits off of those crops, but you have the animals as well, such as the cattle, the lamb, the goats. You have your chickens. You need that's your food source. All right. So once again, all of this is going to lead to what? It's going to lead to a famine that the Lord is going to bring upon the earth. All right. A shortage of food, all right, a shortage of water is going to lead to a time like never before. All right. Especially when, you know, like I had mentioned, about things being record breaking. All right. The temperatures, the levels of the low levels of river water being record breaking have never been seen before. You know what I'm saying? This is ultimately what is going to lead to a time like never before. All right. It says, because the ground is chapped and for there was no rain in the earth, the plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. Yeah, the hinds also calved in the field and forsook it, because there was no grass. All right. And the wild asses did stand on the high places. They snuffed up the winds like dragon. Their eyes did fail, because there was no grass. All right. So even the animals itself is gonna perish. All right. Eventually they're gonna die out. All right. Because that, once again, grass is their food source. If they don't have a grass to eat, you know, eventually what happens? They lose a lot of weight. They get skinny. They starve out and they die. All right. It says, "Oh Lord, though our iniquity testify against us." It says, "Do thou it for thy name's sake, for our backsliding are many. We have sinned against thee." And that's the purpose when you look at it on why the Lord is doing these things, because the wickedness of America, the wickedness, especially of Massachusetts, have reached into the heavens. All right. We go into it a lot at camp, about the bloody trail, which they call the freedom trail. All right. And they go through and they uphold their so-called patriots. All right. They uphold Esau, Edom uphold their so-called great men. All right. And they're taking down the children of Israel, of the children of the tribe of Gad. All right, and they upheld them and say, oh, these people were savages. All right, so and plus the land was beautiful, and basically they wasn't gonna do anything with it. All different type of reasonings and excuse that they use. But guess what? What they did was the thief came to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's plain and simple. So what the Lord is now doing is he's now smiting the earth. All right, and he's rewarding them basically a recompense. All right, let's let's get the word. What's this? Let's see. I had a precept. Bear with me real quick. Oh, this is good. This is second Ezra 16-18. This is let me open it up. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come upon the earth? All right. Well, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Salakia. All right. And that's talking about these times. All right. The increase of sorrow, the increase of great mourning, the increase of famine, the increase of death, the increase of war. All right. And fear being increased throughout the four corners of the earth, the increase of evil. All right. As you see, once again, all these things is leading up to a time like never before. You read that in Jeremiah 30 and verse 7, and also Daniel's 12 and 1. All right. You see, this is ultimately what's coming, and this is what's happening. All right. Let's go back. Ecclesiastes 39 and 29, it says, for fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. All right. And who's bringing forth the vengeance? It's the Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right. Let's see. Just bear with me real quick. I'm just kind of running through a few precepts that has the word dearth, drought, and famine because it's all synonymous. It's all linked up. Let's get so I can bear with me. Let's get second Ezra 6 and 22. The sown place is becoming unsown. And it says Second Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Once again, that the storehouses being empty is also part of the famine or the lack of crops that these farmers are able to produce. All right, the dearth that the Lord is bringing upon the land. All right, no rain. These things also contribute to the storehouses lacking in food. All right, and in certain places appear unsown. America, which was well put together, all right, at a point, you know, now it's becoming dismantled. Now it's being broken down. Now it's being, it's being destroyed. All right, and once again, when you take something from the scene or unsow something, it's coming apart. It's falling apart. All right. And it says, and the trumpet shall give a sign, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. That trumpet represents the prophets. All right. It represents the prophets on the highways and the byways giving that warning. All right. Lift up your voice as a trumpet. Show my people their transgression. All right. And also the scripture says this. Let's grab it real quick. Amos 3 and 6 says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people shall not be afraid. All right. And shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh Shah hath not done it. All right. And once again, that trumpet being also the prophet speaking on the highways and the byways, because the Lord said, give them warning from me. But also it says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it. So once again, everything, all the calamities, everything that's happening in the earth leads back to Yahweh Bahashim Shah. All right. Let's go back. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid, and at that time shall friends fight against one another, fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And why is friends going to fight against each other like enemies? All right, think about it. The lack of food. All right, the lack of drinking water. All right, if one needs and another and don't have it, but the other individual have it. All right, and especially when it's a scarcity, you know that people is going to be tight with assisting or helping out. What that means is going to lead to what? Fighting. It's going to lead to one picking up a weapon or one putting another individual to death. This is ultimately what it's going to lead to. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still in 3 hours, they shall not run. All right, and if you notice too, plenty articles, plenty lessons that the brothers been doing and the elders been doing, about these the dam. There was a dam recently that blown up, which we know that we know that we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right, but then you also have uh, a low temperature, not a low temperature, a low capacity of water in these dams. All right, which those dams also use for energy sources. All right, and and also drinking and water that you use to shower. So with that happening, they're gonna be monitoring and cutting back of the usage of that water. All right, and which is gonna lead to people being irrational. People mindset is gonna be different according to what it is now. All right, and before. All right, their mindset is gonna be different, and guess what? Eventually, they're gonna start taking matters to their own hand. All right. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I got on this lesson. All right. But you know, this is ultimately the working of the Lord. And all of Massachusetts is officially in a drought. And this is only Massachusetts. How many more other states? Let me, before I end it off, let's look that up. All right. This is from June 24th, 2021. I really want something recent. Okay. This is posted June 13th, 2022, the year of Yahweh Shemel Shah turning up. All right. Drought in the western states. It says the U.S. Drought Monitor categorized drought in the region according to soil moisture, stream flows, and precipitation level. It says regional designations can vary and are primarily based on historical weather patterns. Drought can adversely affect many aspects of the United States agriculture sector. It says in regions that rely on rainfall for agriculture production, drought can diminish crops and livestock output and may severely affect farm profitability. It says drought also reduce the quality, the quantity of snowpack and stream flow available for diversions to what is it, irrigated agricultural land. These impacts can rever- reverberate throughout the local, regional, and national economy. It says local droughts can reduce farm income and negatively impact food processing and agricultural service sectors, while food prices may increase at the regional and national level. All right. And that goes into inflation. As of March 8, 2022, drought conditions are most severe in the states of Texas, Oklahoma, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Montana, and New Mexico, which would be the West Coast in, uh, I would say, the Southwest area of the United States. All right. The West Coast and the Southwest areas of the United States. All right. It says, according to the USDM, on March 8th, 2022, more than 20% of land in Western states was classified as experiencing extreme or exceptional drought. Data report by the USDM demonstrate that the incidence of drought in the Western United States during the summer of 2021 exceeded all past droughts in the region since 2000s. Drought conditions in the western U.S. gradually subsided since the latter months of 2021. Right, so that's just a few states that are going through it. Once again, this is Arizona, Hold on. So like it, yeah, which I believe there's more states involved. Yeah, there's more states involved, but you know, it's just either you, you gotta oh, let's see this one real quick. Well, no, that's 2015. Oh, look, July 12th, 2022. All right. TheHill.com. Just gonna read it briefly. It says 40 states are experiencing some form of drought. The states experiencing the worst drought are in the western and southwestern parts of the country. All right. And let's see if they got some names, and then we'll just end it off there. Here's the breakdown of all levels of drought states are experiencing. We have only moderate drought: Alaska, Maine, uh, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, as we just recently read. All right. It says Alaska, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. This is all the region of the Northeast. Later. It says Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Wisconsin, Virginia, Alabama, Washington, Arkansas, and Minnesota. It says severe or moderate drought: Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Dakota. It says moderate, severe, or extreme drought. It says Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, Hawaii, Idaho. It says moderate, severe, extreme, and exceptional drought: Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, Kansas, Montana, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. And when you read those states, all right, those states is like, they're big, such as states like California, states like Texas. So you got to remember those cities within those states are being affected, which have abundance of people. All right. So, hey, man, you got to factor that in. The Lord is breaking this place down, man. And it's a beautiful thing because let's end it off with this precept. End it up. Yep. Luke 12 and verse 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be kindled already? All right. And real quick, I want to get the NIV version of it. It says, I have come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it was kindled. It was already kindled. All right. So, hey, man, the fire is brewing up. All right. Which goes into the tribulation, goes into turmoil. But the Lord Yahweh Shah is really going to bring that fire. All right. He's going to really bring that fire. He said, I've come to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it was already kindled, which he's hastening the day. All right. He's hastening the day the same way we should be hastening the day of the Lord. All right. But that fire is already being, it's in the process. All right. First, that fire goes by way of the prophecies. All right. And also by the turmoil. All right. The straits that's happening in the earth. And then eventually the ICBM that's going to drop down upon Babylon. All right. And these various other countries due to the fact of this war brewing up, and also Yahweh Shah returning. All right. With the chariots and his heavenly host. We read Isaiah 66 and 15, I believe. All right. So, yeah. Just that's just to end it off right there. I pray and hope that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise on the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, El Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, the bonus my apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, rule well, and who has taught us this truth, and also peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.